Yeah, the same tournament in Santa Monica in '66. He played against Larsen. A very complicated position, against the King's Indian. E4, D6, yeah. Bishop E2, castle. Bishop G5. This is the so-called Averbach variation for white. White has to try to win some initiative, some small initiative by playing on different squares, white squares, black squares, it's a very complicated game. And therefore their game here is very important theoretically in that period, So as you remember, we had another line, another game played by Spassky against Stein. We showed already, also very complicated, where white could win finally after very big complications, So here it is most interesting to see what is Fischer's plan, for black. Okay, E6, the best move. Okay, knight F3, H6, bishop H4, takes in D5, and now again we see the rest, the theoretical line. This is considered the best for black. He weakens a little bit if you consider like this. Black weakens a little bit his position, but he's able to take the bishop from G3. He plays now immediately knight H5, and he can trade the bishop. It's very important. Okay, knight H5, knight D2, takes in G3, theorem. Takes, and now it's important to find the plan. Black can play immediately A6, or he can ignore for the moment the idea and play immediately knight D7. Okay. He gives you the chance to try to show that white is a little bit better, by this move order, Okay, knight C4, queen E7. All right. Now, of course, you can't play knight B5. You don't have time to play knight B5 because you lose the central pawn in E4, If you lose the central pawn, it's not good for white, of course. It's too much. So, okay, knight E3. Larsen is playing also, tactically. If black took the pawn from E4, for instance, bishop takes C3 check and takes in E4, then the game is complicated, but white is okay after rook takes H6, has some attacking chances, So, of course, Fischer didn't take in C3, and the game continues in a very positional way, Everybody is trying to do something positionally, but it's complicated. It's not clear who is better here for the next moves, a few moves. So, okay, move by move, knight F6, queen C2, okay. Rook E8, all right. That gives the chance for white to try to show that he doesn't want too much. He is content to draw, even game. Bishop B5, now rook D8, and now bishop back. Rook E8. Now you have to show what do you want with white, As usual, Larsen, oversteps a little bit the limits and he plays for win, trying to show that white is clearly better here. But white is not clearly better. It's complicated, you see. He could, repeat the position with bishop b5. Then Fischer has to take a decision. He plays for win with black, or he accepts an even game.
So this was
it was a very, very complicated moment, So he played f3. Now everything is changed. The situation is changed because white tries to show that he's ready for fight. He plays f3 and he tries to show that I am a little bit better. All right. From here, this is the second very important moment. Now black played the normal line. He comes with the knight from f6 through f8 to g6, controlling the black squares, you see. Very important strategical moment for black, you see. Knight h7. Therefore, I told you it's very important theoretical game, this one. Okay, so here g4, knight f8. Okay, now knight f8. Now it's clear. Black is trying to come g6 to e5 or f4, both cases on black, as good counterplay. Okay, knight f8, a4, trying to control all the squares on the queen side. Everything is logical, it's okay for white, it seems. Normal game. So, right, black is playing knight g6, king f1, okay. Everything on white, okay. White plays on white, black plays on black, you see, as usual. All right, so rook b8. He doesn't threaten anything. I mean, he wants to play something with b5, I mean, the idea. But black needs some time, and in reality, he doesn't want to come through b5. He has a normal position on the queen side, and he's provoking his opponent to do something, himself. Yeah. So, right, he plays again bishop b5, and after rook d8, he takes the decision to come, he comes to f5. All right, now he takes in f5, and now again, important decision. If you take with g, then the position is still a little bit close and it's not clear who is better, Black is okay, but it's not clear that he has very good chances to have a much better position. I mean, you have to prove it, But after e takes f5, the position is already very open and is in black favor, because he was controlling very quickly the e file. And now, after e takes f5, knight e5, knight e4. Well, he was very optimistic. I mean, white, he tries to show that he is better very quickly, And now black plays a6. I mean, he's controlling the squares on the queen side. Now you have to go back. No? And here, knight d7. Again, he changes the plan very nicely. He puts the knight in f6. Now, if you want to have an even game, you have somehow trade the knight, If you don't trade the knight, white has nothing and black has a small initiative or a bigger initiative. We'll see. So, okay. Rook e1. Black, is doing the right thing, and white, is doing again the normal moves. You see, rook e1 is a normal move. Okay, knight f6. Now, okay. Here you have to take the decision. If you take in f6, you have nothing. After queen takes f6, black controls the diagonal, attacks immediately in b2, and threatens to come very quickly with b5. So black is already better, If you want something, you have to move back the knight, you see. At least you don't give the possibility b5, All right, and now, queen d7. Now, he moves the queen, and he will control the e file with the rook, which is okay. Very good. Queen d7. All right, a5. Okay. Again, very optimistic. I mean, it seems that white wants something, but in reality has nothing at all, Yeah. So, okay, quietly rook e8. Controls the file, Now we see the result. Why is better for black here? Because he has a safe king. The king from f1 is doing nothing, and if you move the king normally later on in f2, he can come under attack, like in their game, we'll see, because black has black bishop and the control of the e file. Very important. So, okay, king f2. And after king f2, queen c7. First, now he attacks the pawn from a5. You can't give the pawn from a5 because you lose in every position. So you have to defend now. Now you have to move the rook from e1 back. That's it's enough. From here, it's enough. No. Rook, yeah. Now black had one tempo. Of course, for Bobby is enough. Now c4. As always in Benoni, this is almost decisive. Opens the position and he prepares queen c5 check on the black squares, If he arrives with tempo on the black squares, he has very good attacking chances. It's good, a very good chance to prepare a mating attack, So, okay, what to do? King g3, well, sad, but okay. And from here, everything is almost forced, So, rook e3, see, in a few moves, the position changed completely, So, what to do here? Queen d2, rook e8, look at that. Complete control on the e file. Now, the only hope is to try to trade some pieces on the E file. Therefore, I told you before, it was better to close the E file by taking with the other pawn in F5, not with E, but with G. If he took with G4 pawn on F5, maybe the position could be saved somehow, Yeah. But here is already too much, it's too late. Rook E1, and now look, again, decisive tempo on the other side, Now if you take in H5, it's clear, all the black pieces are coming. The knight is coming with check, threatening knight F4. The bishop is coming with decisive force on the black diagonal. So the game continuation is forced. So what did he play here? Bishop F1. The last, hope. Maybe black is accepting the fact that he can trade rooks, and even if he loses a pawn, he has maybe a chance to make an even game somehow, But I told you, now decisive knight takes G5. And from here, everything is forced and decisive, completely winning for black, move by move.
Because
you can't take, and if you take in E3 again, nothing happens and black continues the idea, black continues the attack. Yeah? So he took, and now instead of taking with the knight, which is probably enough to win, he took with the rook, even better. Now he's threatening queen on the black squares and bishop E5 check, terrible position for white, So of course, here white could resign, but okay, they continue a little bit, and he played king H3. Okay, queen E7 and G3. Okay, after G3, desperation, but already too late. Bishop takes. Yeah, he took the second pawn. Rook E1, Rook E3 back. No, at least he didn't get mated. White. So you have to take in E3. Yeah. He took with the queen and white resigned. He took back and knight takes, and look now, the result. 2 pawns down and he loses every pawn.
Yes.
He loses in D5, he loses in C3. No, terrible for that. Okay, he resigned. What do you think of this game? Fantastic game, no? Almost from nothing. And against such a player like Larsen, Because in that time, Larsen, he can prove it later on. I mean, he was considered the best hope for Western countries, besides Bobby. I mean, Bobby was considered the best Western player ever. But immediately afterwards was Larsen, who later on played the match against Bobby for the candidates, And the result, we know the result, 6-0, later on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Beautiful game.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
You're welcome.